So I've been thinking about this for a little bit, and I don't think I seem to have a photo niche. See, I keep seeing people on social media and their consistency of their work and how their Instagram feed looks like, where it kind of makes me realize that a lot of them tend to have the consistent type of niche and everything. And when I look at my work, it's kind of not really zoned in into one single niche, because that honestly just reminds me how cohesive their Instagram is and their social media versus mine. And it's something that keeps me really just thinking over and over that I just don't seem to have one thing to stick that I could be known for or that people would recognize me for, which is interesting thought, I guess, as a photographer. But that makes me go back to think about what my niche could be. Is it, technically street photography? Is it travel photography? Is it portraits? What is it? And sometimes I just begin to doubt that I don't have a niche. I just have a lot of different interests. And this really makes me think that it's hard for me to bring down to a niche for my photos because I have so many interests and I see other people do it. And I kind of always start to wonder how they can do it. How can they find one thing that really just they want to do over and over instead of kind of branching out? Because I'll find bigger social media accounts of photographers that I like, and it seems like they have a cohesive, grid and niche type of photos that I don't seem to have. And it's kind of made me overthink my photography identity, if you will, because I'm not really sure sometimes what I'm about to create because I have so many different interests and so many things I like to create that I can't just pick one. That, to be honest, if somebody kind of asked me what my niche photography might be, I fear that I wouldn't really be able to answer that specifically because I wouldn't really know. But this got me thinking, maybe there's nothing wrong with not having a niche photography style. I mean, sure, it must be nice to have your own, type of niche style that in reality everybody knows you for. But being able to take photos of things that capture my eye without having to overthink it on a niche or anything is quite freeing, and I don't think it's that bad. And truly, it's okay to have multiple styles of photography that you might be into and that you want to style into yourself to maybe make multiple niches that could make yourself be known for multiple things. I don't think there's anything wrong with having a niche and you can succeed in it, but creating photos of what intrigued you, even though they're different styles or anything like that, is always really great and rewarding because you're not letting yourself be kind of condensed into one box, but you're able to kind of hop around and see what just captures your eye. You basically take a photo of and you just enjoy the process of creating content. Because for me, I feel like not having a certain niche of a style of photography helps me not feel like I'm stuck and that I can't really create, because when I set myself too much limitations of a style that I can only shoot, it can be creative, outlet that'll help you just create because you know what you're going to be creating, but also sometimes feel like it's limiting because you're not able to create just whenever you feel like. And that's one of the reasons why I started loving photography, is just creating anything that captured my eye. It's like drinking coffee, right? Everybody has their different types of coffee that they might go to or anything, but if you find yourself to be able to like multiple styles of coffee, you go to certain coffee shops where they have one style or the other, you won't have a bad time that way. And I know somebody's gonna say, but that coffee reference isn't that great. But it is, because if you think about it, if you only drink, let's say, black coffee and you go to a coffee shop that is known for their lattes, are you just gonna say, I'm not gonna hang out with my friends or anything like that? Well, you would want to be able to adjust to it, right? And like at most coffee shops anyway, they have diversity when it comes down to their drinks for that purpose, because they know that not one shoe fits all. And that's how I think about my photography, I guess. If my niche could be something, would be that I don't have one necessarily. I have a little bit of taste for everything. I love seeing portrait photography. I love doing street photography, even car photography, despite not doing it too much. But there's not one thing that really just sticks with me, and I think that's okay. And I think it'll be a polarizing subject when it comes down to creators, because I hear it all the time where a lot of creators will talk about how you should niche down to what you're really good at and only focus on that. And to a certain degree, I do agree with it, but I also think it's very limiting. So at the end of the day, I think that having multiple interests is better to show up for it than not showing up at all, because that niche wasn't there for that photo shoot. There's always something that you can find intriguing. So go ahead and just create the photos and find something that you just find appealing to go and create. Whether it's wanting to be in that niche that maybe you do only portraits, and that's okay if that's what's bringing you your income or anything like that, but don't be scared to diversify yourself a little bit more, because not always do you have to stick to one thing, and it's okay to, evolve as you keep growing with your photography skills, videography, or anything that you're trying to do. But yeah, this is just something that I've been thinking about a lot when it comes down to my photography, and it was something that I wanted to see if you can relate to it, because sometimes people just, go through that motion where they're not sure what their niche might be or what they want to focus on. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you have multiple interests, go ahead and shoot multiple interests. Find the one that you might find the most attractive to be able to do most consistently. And if it's multiple ones, that's totally okay. That's something that YouTube has shown me, because not always am I going to be shooting portraits. Sometimes I do street photography, sometimes it's travel, landscapes, or whatever. And I'm okay with that. Now doing this video, it kind of helps me realize that a lot more. So that's just kind of my thought process whenever it comes down to figuring things out and bringing you guys along with me to be able to kind of brainstorm ideas of why it's fine to not have a niche. So if you made it this far, appreciate it. Go have some coffee or something that you want to drink, and cheers to that one.